She's been with us her entire life. If you look closely, you'll notice that her left eye is nice and big, but her right eye is really, really tiny. And that's actually a birth defect. She was found on the ground as a nestling. She was only about this big. She was only a few days old. And the lady who found her was going to put her back in the owl box where she belonged. But the lady, thank goodness, was a bit of an expert on birds, and she knew immediately there was something wrong with Iris's right eye. So she brought her into us, and we've had her entire life, and she is blind on this side. So she lives with us at the center. Now, if you guys are interested in having screech owls in your yard, which is a great way to help keep mice and rats and snakes and things out of our yards, all you have to do is put up an owl box. And you put it about 12 to 15 feet above the ground on a tree facing south or east. And sooner or later you'll get a mating pair that'll come back every year for up to 12 years and have 1 to 3 owlets at a time every year. And baby owls are called owlets, by the way. And they're very cute. They're little tiny little, we've got a picture that Miss Anka's going to show you. They're very cute little things. Now, I said that she is federally protected. There's a very specific reason for that. She is in the raptor family, which means she's a carnivore. She eats nothing but meat, anything that she can pick up with her talons and take home for dinner. So small mice, rats, snakes, lizards, cockroaches, frogs, just about anything will be dinner. But she doesn't eat fruits, nuts, berries, nothing like that. And the raptor family includes hawks, owls, eagles, condors, and vultures. And all of those species are protected by the U.S. government for one very specific reason. Could anybody tell me why those birds specifically are protected? Yes. And is there one very special eagle that is, there you go, exactly, because the bald eagle is a raptor and it is the symbol of our country, it is federally protected. And so are every raptor in the raptor family. So it is illegal, highly illegal, to touch, take captive, capture, or hurt any of those birds. So that even means don't mess around with the turkey buzzards, because they are actually federally protected, believe it or not. So it's very important that we always leave these guys alone to do their thing. They actually help to make our neighborhoods easier for us to live in because they eat all those things that we don't necessarily want around our house, like mice and rats and snakes and things. So very good to have around. Guys, we're going to do questions at the very end, so hold on to the questions in your mind, and I will do a Q&A session when we're done. Excuse me. I want to share my favorite owl fact with you. I want you guys to get a good look at her head. Now, without all the feathers, her head's only about this big around. Okay? What? Yeah, it's pretty small. Now, get a good look at that left eye. That left eye is normally sized. Now, if your eyes were the same size in proportion to your head as her left eye is, each of your eyes would be the size of a grapefruit. Wow. I want you to think about that for a second. Okay? We would look really different, wouldn't we, than we do now? That would be a little bit weird, right? But you'd be able to see forever and ever, right? You'd have vision like you wouldn't believe. But there's one big disadvantage to having eyes that big and a head this small. And what might that be? What might that leave very little room for that's pretty darn important right here? Exactly. Now, have you guys all seen the cartoons and the commercials about the wise old owls giving us advice and selling us car insurance and all those things? Not the case. Unfortunately, owls are not the brightest birds in the trees, but they are amazing hunters. They gave up a lot of brain size for those huge eyes, but what they can do with that little brain pan is pretty amazing. So they are incredible hunters and good to have around. I got you guys also to notice how beautifully camouflaged she is. Does she look exactly like an oak tree? Yeah. She's also one of the few animals on the planet that is what's called dual camouflage. She is virtually invisible, top and bottom. The most common animal that we know of that's also dual camouflage is the great white shark. You know how they're dark gray on the top and light gray on the bottom? And that's so that they're invisible from underneath and from above. She, to a hawk or an eagle, looks exactly like an oak tree. To a bobcat, a fox, or a coyote looking at her from below, her belly feathers are made to perfectly mimic light filtering through the leaves of the tree. So they are invisible when they're in a tree. They are also not nesters. They're what we call cavity dwellers or, burrowers. They will find a hole in the tree, usually about 12 to 15 feet off the ground, usually about 2.5 to 3 inches around, and made there by woodpeckers or squirrels or something. And they will go in there, and that's where they have their babies. So if you're looking for them, don't look out on the branches of the trees, look on the trunk. And that's where you'll find the babies come springtime. Also, important fun fact about eagles. Did you guys know that the bald eagles migrate through Houston every year? Yeah? Did you know that? Good. So, what you want to do, come spring or early fall, you want to head up to like Huntsville or Conroe, places where there's lots of pine trees, and you might be able to see a pair of bald eagles. And if we do, of course, all we do is take pictures, right? We don't touch them. We don't go anywhere near them. Of course, they're going to be 50 feet up in a tree. But it is worth trying to see because they are incredible, absolutely gorgeous. And we are really lucky to be one of the cities that they actually travel through every year. So if you get a chance, you're going to want to go up and see them. Because you guys do summer camps and stuff up, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. But of course, that's in the summertime. So.
We do camps in the spring and fall.
Oh, perfect. So you guys want to start looking for them. They're always up at the very top of the pine trees. But if you can get in the right location, sometimes you can see them, and it's really incredible. Okay, we're going to put this little girl back.